What's up everyone? Today I'm making biltong from scratch. First we're going to start off with nice big pieces of beef. Around 3 to 4 pieces. Depends on the size, it'll depend on the days it takes to dry. First we're going to mix in some worcestershire sauce, if that's pronounced correctly. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Mix it in nicely into the meat. So I've got thick pieces and thin pieces, just so it varies between the days. And then we add in brown vinegar and we get that mixed in. As you can see, my first regret was using that plate. I should have used this bowl in the first place. Next, I'm going to add in some pre-mixed biltong spices. This we can get anywhere in South Africa basically. But I'm going to add the ingredients in the description if you can't get this anywhere else out of South Africa. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. It did take 5 days, come on guys. And don't feel shy with the spices. The more spicy it is, the better it is. After we get everything marinated and bind it together with the spices, we're going to close it up and keep it in the fridge for at least 1 day. Okay guys, so day 2 with the biltong, this is going to be really messy. So we've got everything marinated 100%. Now we just have to hang it on this pole. Take a look at what I did, so anybody can do it. Okay, so here I just used a normal ring light stand as well as the other side and just taped up little piece of metal, a bar. You can use anything, even trunking or conduit. It's those plastic things to run cables in. And I just taped it up in the sides to keep it stiff and in the center. And then I just got this this bucket at the bottom because it's going to drip, so we don't want to mess everything else. So for the first messy part, we're going to have to get them in hooks. So we'll just grab a nice big piece out. Let's say this one. Let's try and hook it on this side. Now these plastic hooks you can get at any butcher. Okay, and now we just get it hooked up here. This should be strong enough to hold it, so yeah, so it doesn't drip, we'll keep it in there. Now we can do the rest the same. Get the thickest part to put the hooks in. Try and get it more into the center. Just don't poke yourselves because it's pretty sharp. And we'll get this one hooked up here. This is similar to beef jerky, but 100 times better. So if you're going to try it, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. Just trying to even them out so it drips all into this bowl I have at the bottom. You can remove the bowl later on when everything stops dripping. It should take about another 2 days to dry, depending how you want your biltong. Okay, and there you go. Okay, and there you go. Now all we need to do next is just add a fan to continuously keep blowing on it. Now we can add a little more spices to it if you want to do that too. Let's say 2 while it's on there. But we don't want too much of spices, we can always add it afterwards. See, by adding the spices afterwards, it stays on the meat. Because sometimes it just comes off in the Worcester sauce and the vinegar and everything else. So I have one of these little battery operated fans, which I'll link down in the description. You can get it on Amazon. Just keep that on low heat and low speed actually. And we'll just face it towards the meat. And we leave that there and come back and check on it in a day. Okay, so this is day 3 making the biltong. Day 1 we marinated it, kept it in the fridge the whole night. Yesterday we hung them up to dry. Day 2 we can test out the small piece and let's see how that looks. I'm sure it's not done as yet, but let's try and cut it with this big knife. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's still wet, still needs a bit more drying. Where's the camera? on this side. Yeah, there. So it's almost dry. I'm not gonna taste it now. It still looks too raw. We'll try it out tomorrow morning, and let's see how that goes. And just take in consideration, the fan is on continuously. I leave this piece out as well. It will definitely dry, and we can see how it looks tomorrow. So I just put a hook on this little piece, and we'll see how it looks tomorrow. Okay guys, we're back here. Day 4 with the biltong. It's been drying since Saturday. Today is Monday. So that's 3 days of drying, 1 day in the fridge marinating. So let's take a look at this piece. Let's see how it is. Okay, this is a bit of a thicker piece. This is still not done. Let's go back to that smaller piece that we had earlier on, yesterday. Okay, this one looks a bit more drier, but it's still a bit moist on the inside. So we're still going to leave that to dry for another day. And let's see how it looks on day 5. 4 days of drying. Okay guys, back to the biltong. I think this is day 4 or 5. I'll calculate that later on. But let's take a look at one of these big ones. Should be dry. Let's cut that in the middle. That looks like good biltong. So a thin slice out. It's not completely dried, but it's getting there. We can still taste this. It's still edible. Okay, that tastes good. Now I want to try one of the thinner ones, because this looks really dry. Yeah, that is done. I'm going to cut a small piece to try, because otherwise you can chew this the entire day. Spicy, and it's good. So it's only the 2 thicker ones which I would leave for another 12 hours, and then it's 100% ready. So we can just cut them into smaller pieces this way. Once you have all of it into bite-sized pieces, put it in the bowl, sit back, enjoy while you're watching the game. That's a thin slice. I must say, I just tasted a piece now and it's really good. But yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so now we're on day 3 making the biltong. 1 day drying it.